Hey lovers, this is Dr. Kat and I'm recording from Thailand. I am with SexLoveYoga.com and the host of Eat, Play, Sex podcast. I decided to create a series of videos to share with you my favorite experiences and understandings of embodiment of sexuality and how to improve and uplevel our relationships. So today I wanted to talk about the difference between sex, conventional sex, and making love. I get this question a lot from people who want to understand, how do I know when my partner's just having sex with me versus making love with me? And these are very good questions, and it all comes down to how we are showing up ourselves. Or how we're allowing the other person to show up with us. When we think about conventional sex, we think about the images that are presented to us through social media, through magazines, through the movies that we see, through the porn that we've grown up watching. It's this idea of typically harder thrusting, a lot of in and out, focus primarily on penetration. So some people, you may believe that sex equals penetration, and before that it's not included sex. Everything else is foreplay and this is sex. It may be the mentality of stick tab A and just let B, move around a little bit and bam, you got it. Conventional sex tends to have an emphasis on orgasm, so it tends to be very goal-oriented. We start doing the physical behaviors or actions of sex, and we're looking for an orgasm. We're looking for that explosive experience, and we oftentimes miss all of the juicy experiences that are leading up to it. Or we may feel very unsatisfied if we don't find an orgasm. This is for both men and women. And sometimes we may experience feeling that we are not man enough or woman enough if we don't experience an orgasm, or if we don't get our partner to experience an orgasm, which can a lot of times taint our entire experience. We may see the experience as bad. Oh, that sex sucked because we didn't get an orgasm. And then everybody's sad. And I don't know why we'd be sad when we were having such a pleasurable time. It's unfortunate. Conventional sex can also be, while it can be vulnerable, because sex in general is vulnerable, especially we're presenting ourselves in the nude, which we're opening ourselves for any type of projection from the other person or judgment or any of these things. So sex can be vulnerable, but we can still show up in masks or in armor to bed in conventional sex. We can still present a specific image of how we want the person to see us that isn't necessarily who we are in our authenticity. Mm-hmm. So when we think about one more thing with conventional sex, we may or may not be present. And I don't mean just present to understanding that there's a body underneath me or above me, or even just the body of my own self, but I mean presence as in I am fully with the sensations that are going on here. I'm fully in the unfolding. I'm fully with seeing this individual who's in front of me, and I'm not in some fantasy. I'm not in some expectations or fears or insecurities, but I am here. I'm here. So when we think about making love, the concept of making love, we aren't necessarily focused on an end goal. We're not necessarily seeking out the elusive orgasm. We're not focused on getting the other person off or getting ourselves off. But we are in the presence of the unfolding from the very start, the initiation, all the way until we just decide that we're satisfied, that we're good, that this this is, I am good right now. Maybe there's an orgasm and maybe there's not, but that doesn't taint your sexual experience. It is being present in every kiss. It's being present to the moments that happen right before anything, before that kiss. It's being present to the hovering of the lips above the lips. It's being present to the moment before penetration. If there's penetration, there may not even be. Making love can be simply caressing and feeling and moving energy and dancing with the presence of this other person. It may be holding and rolling around or making sounds or making out passionately or fooling around with oral sex or fingers or whatever, toys or tools or whatever you want to do. And it may not even have penetration involved, and it can be highly satisfying. Making love is allowing for vulnerability. It's showing up as exactly as we are. We are expressing the exact needs that we have in the moment. We're able to express what's coming up for us, whether it's something that's difficult and vulnerable, or maybe it's something that's exciting or pleasurable, but we are exactly where we are, and we are compassionate for exactly where our partner is. That is making love. Even if I've experienced trauma and maybe my body's only wanting to receive certain types of touch, or maybe my body's only saying, this is as far as I want to go, and the other person meets that with compassion and presence and lovingness, that's making love. Like, that is healing in and of itself. If meeting that person with, yes, I see you in that. Wow. You just helped somebody unlock new levels of their potential. The making love is also just this pure presence of being with the person and not projecting anything onto them, not projecting, I wish you were this person, I wish you could do this, I wish you were a fantasy, or I'm thinking about my to-do list, or this, that, or the other. It is there. It's presence and consciousness in your fingertips of this unfolding. Making love is less thinking and more feeling. And how vulnerable that is to actually feel, to allow ourselves to feel, to allow ourselves to surrender, to allow ourselves to fully let go and let somebody in, and not worry or project onto them what this could mean. There is no meaning in the action until you put meaning on it, or until the other person puts meaning on it. Then now there's expectation, now there's things tied onto it, but not until you put it on there. Otherwise, it's being so fully present, whatever this is. And making love, we can really experience implosive orgasms as well as explosive. And when I say implosive, very different type of orgasm, but it's one that's, when you surrender into the sensation, it's as if your body absorbs it. It's as if your body just welcomes in the rise of this pleasure. Or explosive orgasms can be more of like the genital focused in one localized area, and it's almost like this pushing outward of the orgasm that we can get a lot of times with sex or conventional sex. We look for that explosive orgasm instead of this more of like subtle but not so subtle feeling of like the whole body just rolling in this experience. So I invite you to look at the type of sex that you're engaging in and note how you're showing up in your sexual activity. Is this how you want to be showing up. Is this the type of sex that you want to co-create with somebody else or create for yourself? Or are you wanting to create something different? And these are specific elements to be able to not only measure where you are and how you're showing up, but also to empower you to show up in the way that you'd like to in sex. So I'm Dr. Kat with Sex Love Yoga and Eat, Play, Sex podcast. Check it out. Leave me comments, leave me reviews. I'd love to hear from you. Ask me what would you like to hear next on this video series as I'm in Thailand. Much love. Until next time.